I did 2 tours in the sandbox, saw more chaos and cruelty than I care to remember, earned a Purple Heart. All I wanted when I got back was peace. Just a quiet life with my wife Claire and our German Shepherd, Max. We thought we found it in Oak Ridge Estates, a clean, tucked-away neighborhood with neat lawns, friendly waves, and weekend barbecues. The kind of place that made you think, finally, normal. But what we didn't know was that under the surface of this perfect community was a rogue HOA with more power than sense. It started with letters. Your grass is 2 inches too long. Your curtains must be beige, not blue. Your truck violates the visual harmony code. He laughed. After all, I dealt with warlords and insurgents. What were a few clipboard commandos going to do? But Claire didn't laugh. She didn't like the tone. The language felt threatening, and then they started knocking. Not during the day, at night. Loitering near our windows, watching, measuring. Then came the first real scare. Claire called me at work, her voice shaking. 3 men in identical polos with Oak Ridge compliance enforcement stitched on their chests had shown up. No warning. No appointment. They demanded to inspect the backyard. Claire said no, politely, but they didn't like that. They called her non-compliant and said they'd report her to the board. She closed the door. 10 minutes later, they came back. Louder, more aggressive. Banging on the door like they had a warrant. Max went crazy. Claire locked everything down. She didn't open the door again. Just waited for me. When I got home, I saw them, still parked 2 doors down, still there, leaning against their SUVs, smug like nothing had happened. I walked straight up to them, too threatening my wife. The big one said, "Just doing our job." She assaulted us. Slammed the door. I didn't say a word, stared hard, until they got in their car and drove off. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 3 days later, I was at Home Depot grabbing lumber. My phone rang. Claire crying, they came back. She'd stepped outside to call Max in. One of them grabbed her by the wrist, tried to shove past her. When she resisted, he punched her. Max lunged. They ran. But not before they left Claire bruised and bleeding on our front lawn. I dropped everything, drove home like a madman. Guess what? They were still there, parked, waiting, like they were proud of what they'd done. Claire was inside, sobbing, an ice pack on her face. Max lay at her feet, still growling toward the door. I didn't knock. I didn't yell. I walked straight to their SUV, opened the door, grabbed the driver by his shirt. "You hit my wife?" He smirked. She resisted enforcement. I broke his nose with a clean elbow strike. The second guy reached for something, pepper spray maybe. I snapped his wrist, took the canister, and drove my knee into his ribs. He went down. The third tried to run. I tackled him into our HOA-approved landscaping and pinned him there, face first in the mulch. By the time the cops arrived, all 3 were restrained and groaning in the grass. And here's the twist. The police didn't arrest me. Turns out, those guys. They weren't even legally registered. The HOA had hired a shady private security outfit, former rent-a-cops with no real authority, no license, no badges. Just intimidation and fake titles. Claire wasn't the first to be harassed, just the first to fight back. They took statements, arrested all 3 charges: assault, impersonation, trespassing. Then came the investigation. The HOA board had secretly authorized this compliance task force with forged paperwork and 0 accountability. They were breaking laws, not enforcing them. Now, the whole board's under review. Some might face charges of their own. Claire's healing. She's still shaken, but stronger now. Max never leaves her side. And me, I rehung my medals, not for glory, but for message. We don't get pushed around, not in this house, not by punks in polos, and not by HOA tyrants pretending to be law. You want to enforce something? Try enforcing respect, because next time, it won't just be bruises.